Hello, hello, azollafossevt here. In the late summer of 2021, Hololive introduced its second wave of English talents. The first to debut, originally under her own label Project Hope, was the Nephilim V-singer Iris. Iris was then later followed by the official second generation, the previously named group Holo Council. The girls have exceeded fan expectations over the course of their idol activities, and it was in October 2023 that Cover combined these two groups into what's now called Holo Promise. Y'all know the drill. I'll be making the idols into Pokémon trainers. But before we dive in, let's go over the ground rules. Firstly, I'll assign a Pokémon type to each of the girls of Promise, similar to gym leaders and Elite Four trainers in the mainline games. Secondly, each Idol's team should have all but one of their Pokémon matching with their assigned type. Lastly, the not type matching Pokémon should be related to the VTuber's lore, personality, and/or their aesthetics. The first idol turned Pokémon trainer is the personification of hope, Iris. As a Nephilim, Iris has both angelic and demonic traits, as wonderfully shown in her character design. With that in mind, I feel that the fairy type best encapsulates this conflict of good and evil. Fairies can be benevolent or arbiters of mischief, according to their whims. Seems just about right for the cute but impish V-singer. Let's start with Iris's first Pokémon, the aromatic Aromatisse. Besides matching her trainer's pink color scheme, Aromatisse's ability to manipulate their aroma feels parallel to Iris's own power of hope. Hopefully this Pokémon doesn't completely destroy the idol's sense of smell, like its Pokédex entries suggest. Next in Iris's roster is the adorable Floette. Just like how Iris tries to spread hope to her aristocrats, Floette gives TLC to flowers, helping them to grow and unleash their hidden abilities. The V-singer's third Pokémon is the sugary sweet Milcery. This creature is said to bring success and good luck to pastry shops it visits, and much the same can be said about Iris's ability to lift the spirits of her fans. Gynotic takes the fourth spot on Iris's lineup. The mushroom Pokémon emits light from its gills, and is said to cause drowsiness in those within its presence. While I don't believe Iris is the type of person to take the life force of others, like Gynotic, she brightens up the mood of those around her with her calming presence. Fifth in the Idols team roster is Snubbull. According to Bulbapedia, Snubbull are more timid than their fierce appearance may suggest. On the opposite end of deceiving appearances, Iris's cute design contrasts the idol's penchant for mischief and yabai commentary. Last but not least is Iris's not type matching Pokémon, the Sword and Shield Pikachu clone, Morpeko. Pikachu cloning aside, Morpeko stands out with its unique form changes. Who better to represent the angel-demon theming of Iris's design and lore than the small mouse that becomes monstrous when it's hangry? I swear this is a compliment, Iris. Now we will move on to the Kirin of Nature, the vengeance seeker against Bones Malone herself, Ceres Fauna. With her lore stating her motivation to bring people back to nature, the grass type is an obvious choice for Fauna. With that said, we'll start with Fauna's first team member, Shaman, or to be more precise, Shaman's land form. This pseudo-legendary can purify the land and air around itself from pollution, according to Bulbapedia. In other words, Shaman is a perfect companion to have alongside the Guardian of Nature. Second on Fauna's team is Wurdeer, her non-type matching Pokémon. While lacking the distinction of the Kieran label, Wyrdeer's majestic appearance and rare status make it a suitable choice for fauna. The third Pokémon, Smoliv, was chosen for the simple fact that it greatly resembles Fauna's fan mascot, the Saplings. I'm sure Fauna's soothing and motherly demeanor can help ease the anxiety of these nervous little olives. Hopefully. Gogoat is Fauna's 4th team member and the second of her team's deer-based Pokémon. I would have included Sawsbuck, but I assigned that Pokémon to Gold Bullet in my Armis as Pokémon Trainers video. By the way, if y'all are interested in seeing the teams I put together for the Armis boys, be sure to watch it after this video. Alright, enough video plugging. Next comes the cute little apple dragon Flapple. The Pokémon references Fauna's own lore, as she has a golden apple that is rumored to cure all illness and grant immortality to those who bite from it. Also, I can't help but imagine this little guy perching on Fauna's shoulder as she plays games on stream. It's too adorable to pass up. The final Pokémon on Fauna's team is Trevenant. Whether the Pokémon is another victim of Fauna's ability to turn people to trees, or just a regular Pokémon, is anyone's guess. It's about time the next member of Holo promised, Orochrony, to make her grand entrance. As the Warden of Time, a nebulous concept in itself, figuring out a tight matchup for Crony was somewhat difficult. In the end, I decided that Crony would have the Steel type. It represents her cool, grounded demeanor, as well as the element often used to put together clocks. The first Pokémon of the Warden's team is Bronzor, a sentient mirror creature that's often found in ruins and ancient tombs. Along with Bronzor's somewhat goofy expression, the creature best represents the layers of Crony's personality, mysterious as she is a comedic entertainer. Second in the lineup is Copperajah, a Pokémon that, according to Bulbapedia, is said to have a boastful disposition. It takes a confident and powerful companion to be able to fight alongside an equally strong personality like Crony's. Mawile takes the team's third spot, just because I think Crony is the type of person to appreciate the skills and power of a Pokémon, rather than just its appearance. Crony's fourth Pokémon, Orfworm, represents the Warden's own mascot, Boros. While not quite an elegant white snake, I'm sure that Orfworm can be a suitable substitute. The fifth spot in the team roster is the Time Warden's non-type matching Pokémon, Celebi. Okay, hear me out, y'all. I know that Celebi is a legendary, and under normal circumstances, I try to stay clear of overpowered Pokémon by making these VTuber teams. However, considering Crony's powers being based in time, she's already pretty OP to begin with. It's a no-brainer to pair her with the Pokémon that can travel through time and exist in many timelines simultaneously. The last member of Crony's entourage is the stoic-faced Registeel. According to Bulbapedia, Registeel was formed within the Earth's mantle over tens of thousands of years before it emerged to the surface. Someone like Crony wouldn't mind waiting for such a creature to join her team, don't you think? Wait, do you hear that? Is that a bird? A plane? No, of course. It's the guardian of civilization, Nana Shimume. Unlike some of her contemporaries, Mume's type was an easy choice, the flying type. Along with the obvious type matchup, Mume's first Pokémon, Rowlet, is an obvious match with the forgetful owl. I can just imagine Rowlet snuggling under Mume's cloak like she's a mama bird. So cute. Mume's second member is her non-type matching Pokémon, the Ultra Beast Kartana. Like I said, many of the promised idols represent powerful concepts, so it only makes sense to have at least one powerful Pokémon, right? Besides, although Kartana is as sharp as a honed blade, it's also one of the lightest weighing Pokémon, making it easily vulnerable to enemy attacks. I'm sure Mume would want to take care of this little guy. But let's move on to the third team member, Delibird. Considering how much Mume has given back to human civilization and to the humans, the holiday penguin is sure to match their trainer in generosity. Despite having multiple heads, Dodrio only takes the 4th spot on the Owls team. I'm sure Dodrio would make for an excellent ride Pokemon for when Mume gets tired from her travels and streams. The 5th Pokemon is Flamigo, and honestly, I just thought the bird would fit in with Mume's other Pokemon. With its ability to synchronize its movements, Flamigo would be able to keep up with its trainer's flights of fancy. Sigilyph takes the last spot on the roster. This flying psychic-type creature is known to guard ancient ruins, and its memory is such that it maintains the same flight pattern throughout its life. A reliable and loyal Pokemon as Sigilyph is more than deserving to fly by Mume's side. We have a couple more members of Holo Promise to go. I can think of no idol to best reignite the interest and attention of her audience than the embodiment of chaos, Heika Spells. From her amazing dancing skills to her vibrant personality, the electric type is a perfect match for the Chaos Rat. With that said, let's start with Bay's first Pokemon, Electros. Honestly, I chose Electros mostly because its arms remind me of the sleeves of Bay's top. It really fits with Bay's aesthetic, don't you think? Next is Elekid. Its restless and youthful nature complements Bay's own Zoomer vibes. Plus, the rat can have an extra charger plug for her streaming computer. Alolan Graveler takes the 3rd spot on the team, called the Fireworks of the Earth due to it creating thunderous booms from fighting other Gravelers. I think Bay would be adept enough to channel the Pokemon's nature for more positive uses. She'd just need to make sure Alolan Graveler wouldn't shock the idols on stage. The 4th Pokemon, Regieleki, is a semi-legendary creature that was sealed away long ago due to fears about its enormous power. It's even capable of conjuring an electric cage to trap and weaken its foes, according to its Bulbapedia entry. In spite of this, I'm sure Bay would be able to get this volatile creature under control. She's had enough practice wrangling her powerful teammates in collabs after all. In the 5th spot on Bay's team is another Alolan variant, the beautifully stashed Alolan Rattata. I don't think I need to explain myself here, it's pretty self-explanatory. Toxtricity takes the last spot on the team roster, specifically the amped form. Aside from already pairing the low-key form with Holostar Bonzuin Haka, link above if you haven't already watched, I think the amped form also better fits with Bay's aesthetic. Who better to provide background music for the rat idol's dancing videos? Just try not to look it in the eyes, lest you want 15k volts of electricity punched into your face. Y'all may be wondering, Azula, we've gone through every member of Promise. Who else would be left to show their Pokemon matchups? Well, before the formation of Promise, there was an idol who was part of the original Holo Council group. Though she graduated in July of 2022, I think it'd be a disservice to the Sonalites to not represent their Oshi. So with that being said, let's see what Tsukumo Sana, the Speaker of Space, has on her Pokemon team. Being the voice and embodiment of space, the Psychic type is the obvious choice for Sana. Her first Pokemon is Galarian Ponyta. This horse is a reference to Nebula, a Sana original creation that she made in honor of Covercorp and Yago. While perhaps not healing people as directly as a Galarian Ponyta might, Sana surely was able to heal the hearts of her Sonalites with her streams. Next up is Sana's non-type matching Pokemon, the small Weedle. While seemingly a strange choice, I decided on Weedle in order to represent Sana's companion, the worm-like Yatagarasu. What's that? They're, three-legged crow. Well, too late. I got a deadline to meet. The next couple of Pokemon will be introduced as a pair. Solrock and Lunatone take the 3rd and 4th spots respectively. Both of these psychic rocks are said to be from outer space, as stated in each of their Bulbapedia pages. The Speaker of Space would no doubt want to have the power of the sun and the moon on her side. Sana's next Pokémon, Gardevoir, is a powerful entity in its own right. Its Pokédex entries state that Gardevoir is capable of creating black holes and distorting dimensions. It can only reach the peak of its power, however, when protecting its trainer from fatal harm. From what I've researched, Sana's relationship with her fans was a similarly strong bond, one as vast as space itself. The last of Sanana's Pokémon team members is Deoxys. I mean, it's an extraterrestrial. Sana would definitely have had encounters with this creature at some point during her infinite lifetime. Just like how Deoxys has many different forms, Sana had many talents, and her contributions to Hololive are still worth recognizing to infinity and beyond. Please don't report me to the copyright police, I beg of you. Alright, that about wraps it up. Were there any Pokemon that you think would fit better with a member of Holo Promise? Let me know down in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you're so kind. I hope to see y'all again in the next video. Toodaloo!